They say that the bear market is the best time to enter, plan, and prepare. But how do you prepare for the future of Web 3.0, crypto, and NFTs as a creative? Hi, I'm Yanling, and today I'm excited to present a special two-part series on Web3. This is taken from a live recording of our recent in-person event held at the Parlour, Singapore's first NFT bar and lounge. So sit back and enjoy the first part of our specially curated panel, How Web 3.0 Can Empower Creatives. So guys, we have specially curated this panel of creatives, and they are all from different backgrounds, and there are different types of creatives as well. And they're all doing, what's interesting, I feel, is that they're all doing different things in the Web 3.0 space. I think if you guys are just hearing about this space, a lot of you might be more familiar with NFTs, right? Just hearing about NFTs. But as I have learned myself, that is actually a very, very wide space. And there's actually a lot involved. It's more than just digital art that's involved. And so we have invited this panelist here with us today to tell us a little bit more about what they do and how they got into this space, and just possibly open your minds up into the different possibilities that is available in the future, no matter what kind of job you are doing right now. Okay, so before we begin, can I trouble each of you to give a quick introduction about yourself, about what you are doing outside of this Web 3.0 space first, and what are you doing right now in Web 3.0?
Okay, I'm Dom. Outside of Web 3.0, I work in advertising as a senior art director. Been quite a while there. And then inside of Web 3.0, I think I was just telling someone here, I do a lot of things. So I started in late 2020, then organized some crypto art festival last year twice. I make art as well. I curate some artwork and doing like digital art festival later this year. And I do a lot of things. Yeah.
Hi everyone, hope you guys are well. Thanks for inviting me over. I'm Jace Phua, and I'm a content creator, and I'm also a film director. So I run my own creative agency, and from doing creative stuff since young, and always I love innovation. So when I first heard about NFT, just like clueless like everyone, what's NFT? When you can combine art and technology. So things like there's all this artwork here display, there are NFTs, right? So at the start, people are like, I can just screenshot it, I can just take a picture, what's the difference? So NFT is like, you of course have your own ownership on this smart contract, a contract that's online and is forever, so on the blockchain. So so that's the power of Web3. And if you're asking what's Web3, what's Web2, in the future, in fact now there's already people introducing a Web 4.0, Web 5, that kind of thing. So Web3 is of course like everything in the blockchain, Web 2 is not what you're using like Facebook, Twitter, etc. But Web3 is a lot more advanced, and it's the future, like Instagram, we are all part of this, like posting our things online. We kind of like blend into the life of technology. So okay, so back to what I do. I do creative and stuff in real life. IRL, in real life. So in my online, on my Web3, I'm docs, totally docs. You can see my face everywhere. Jace Phua. So yeah, that's what I do.
For a while, actually, when Jace first used the word docs, I didn't understand what it means. So for those of you who don't understand what it means, it's basically you are reviewed, right?
Yeah, you're searchable. You can find where's my house, what I'm doing, etc. Because in the Web3 space at the start, it's currently still kind of adopted stuff where people kind of keep themselves mysterious, where they don't want to have a liability and they can be anything, anyone, So that's how it works. The idea of docs being known,
Yes. Yeah. So the fact that you can see all of them here today, they're all doxed in a way. You actually know who they are, and they're not fake. They are real people. Okay.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I don't have any large title like them. I'm just a student in SMU, year 2. But in Web3, I help run SG NFT Creators, which is a community where we help bring on creators in Singapore together and help, in any case, help them educate them to enter the Web3 space, or provide them a place for collaboration. So project founders and individual artists there get to interact and work with each other. I'm also doing marketing for Blue Jay Finance, a DeFi protocol, and analyst at CRC Capital. To elaborate on what the difference between Web 2 and Web 3, to simplify what Jace was saying, Web 2 is actually the ability to read and write on the internet, but Web 3 is the ability to read, write, and own. So with smart contracts, you're able to provide ownership to the files or be it money. Yeah. So that's the key difference between the two. It's more for empowering individuals. So to give a brief example, Facebook, you're able to create content there, but not necessarily own it. In Web3, you're able to create and own the content, and you don't have to go through loops to earn your money. You earn it directly. Yeah.
Yeah, all these, even as we talk, almost every minute I'm learning something new as well. Before we go into Web 4.0, 5.0, let's just settle with 2 and 3 first and find out what's the differences between each of them. Okay.
My name is Iqbal, but my artist name is Ipao. I'm a street artist, illustrator, graphic designer. I run my own art collective called Diplomat. So there's 7 of us. We've been doing a lot of like mural art, and then we also go into like design, illustration, and stuff like that. So I've been doing art since 2013, like really full time. I mean on the side, and then going into full time like just I think last year. Yeah, because previously I was an art director for influencer company. Yeah, and at the same time I wanted to go into NFT, just like I think hopefully all of you guys, because like we know there's an opportunity for all of us, not only as creatives, but I'm sure like there's a lot of things that you can actually explore and find your space in. And I think likewise for myself, like I also did that, and I explored, and because of that I also created content called NFT Tarik. So just like sharing my experiences as I go along. I mean, just a little bit. My first NFT purchase, I got scammed. I lost about, I think, $350. Yeah, it's like people tell me like, okay, don't do this, and yeah, I still do it, and then I kena. So my fault lah. But it's a learning curve lah, and I think because of that when I created NFT Tarik was because like I want to make sure that you guys learn and see my content, and hopefully like you feel like even a noob can explore as well.
So as you can see, we actually really try to find as many people as possible. Not as many lah. We can only fit 4 today in the panel, But we try to find people who are from very different types of creative backgrounds, right? And they're all doing very different things, all having different positions, and some wearing multiple hats as well in the Web 3.0 space as well as outside, right? In your IRL. So. But before we go there, right? I know Iqbal, you got scammed at first, right? In your very first purchase, but that is when you first started going into it. What made each of you want to even explore this whole Web 3.0, this whole world in the first place?
As an artist, I feel like when there's an innovation of like technology and art come together and ownership, it's of course an amazing thing. You have the real ownership of what you actually do, and then people can actually find the real artists and also pay for your artwork. So I mean NFT is just honestly just a small spectrum of the whole Web3. Web3 is there's a lot of things. It's more than just crypto. It's more than just it's a lot of other things. So getting scammed is kind of, I would say, part and parcel, learning curve. I got scammed as well. A lot of people got scammed. I mean, not just Web3. Web 2.0 is a lot of scam as well. So it's just how we learn and adapt. I mean, scammers are everywhere, right? So we just how we get better and better and then improve. I mean, technology is always advancing, right? So we learn and be better.
So actually, I started with this whole NFT thing slightly different. So I was huge fan of sci-fi, and there's this whole thought of this metaverse, right? Because I thought, wow, that's the future. It felt like a sci-fi novel, like straight out of Snow Crash or Ready Player One, where everything is like interoperable assets. Meaning like you own, say, you own that can of beer, right? Then in every other virtual world, you have that same can of beer. Then that'll be like, how cool is that, right? But yeah, it's unrealistic lah. The world doesn't work that way, sadly. And honestly, as someone who has been working in advertising, it's always been creating stuff for clients. So very big clients, but very exciting stuff. But at the end of the day, right, it's still stuff that's not your name. It's always like some big brand name like Samsung, Netflix, Singapore Air or something. So it's kind of sad because only people in the industry knows your work. and not you as yourself. And honestly, there's this whole thing. When I started, I still want to be an artist. So yeah, I decided to use it as an excuse just to make art lah. I mean, I don't have to, but any excuse is fine. And if you do get paid, that's great. Yeah, and I think this whole ecosystem actually helps a lot because one, it's on the internet, two, it's digital. So, and in this day and age, there's a lot of digital art that's going around. So, aside from traditional art, you have more unknown or niche art forms on the digital platform, say like glitch art, anime art, even say like art made out of ASCII text, like like just typing out, making images using text. That's quite cool. So there's no space in a museum or gallery for that, and people appreciate it, they do enjoy it, and this whole ecosystem of Web3 enables artists to actually get noticed. I mean, some of these art is gonna cost like $2-3, but if you buy it and if your art gets sold, $2-3 makes you happy lah. Like someone appreciates you. Someone on the internet across the world buy your stuff, they feel happy. You also feel happy.
So it's one way to get your art out and feel appreciated in one way or another.
Yeah, and it's also another way to discover art, to be very honest.
Okay. I think we'll delve more into that later, especially for artists over here, as I know some of you are creators. We'll talk about the IP of it a little bit more if we have the chance, But Anthony, how about you? How did you get into this whole thing, especially being a student as well?
I was into investing initially. So towards the end of last year, NFT started to boom. What I mean is, towards August of last year, OpenSea was getting 10 billion in transaction volumes. So a huge part of what I did was follow the money. So when I took a look at OpenSea, it looked like a mess. There was a bunch of monkey photos and very, very ugly drawings. But with each NFT project that launched during that period of time, it easily can 5 to 10x your money within the day. So I got in because of that, sadly. But towards like February of this year, you come to realize that the greater fool might just be you at a point in time. And I also realized that NFTs are more sustainable if they are just used as a medium for creatives or artists to create and mint their artworks and sell them through there. Yeah. So that's where I moved from being an NFT flipper to NFT, I support the community of SG NFT creators to showcase creatives in the space and use NFTs as a medium for payment.
That's interesting. So actually, up to now, we've heard 3 very different reasons for coming into the Web 3.0 or NFTs in particular. One is for money, one is just to explore new technology, something new, something exciting. One is for art, right? So all of them are not right, they're not wrong. It's a very personal thing. I think as with any personal project or investing goals, right? But how about you, Iqbal? Coming from a street artist, which something is very physical, I feel, right? What made you go into 3.0?
I think it's basically the reason why I think everyone is here. I mean, all of us. I was a freelancer then before I started my own art collective. I think you guys are all freelancers here. I think when you guys come here because you guys want to understand what NFT is all about, same as myself, I feel like NFT was an opportunity as an artist, as an avenue to build yourself and gain income. But I think I also see that as like there's a new technology. It's like the internet when it started, or like social media when it started. So this is like a new technology that has started, and now there is an opportunity for artists or creatives to grasp and find their footing and build their identity in that space. And I think that gave me that thought, like, hey, you know what? Like, I always heard that you're early. If you are in the NFT space or you're in crypto space, everybody says you're early, but then nobody tell you what to do. They just tell you that you're still early. Yeah, so that's why I told myself, like, if I'm early, then I have to seize the opportunity, right? So I just dive head in, got scammed, like lose some money, and but then at the end of the day, like, like you fail fast and you pick yourself up faster, and then that's where you gain more experience and you learn. I mean, just to share, like, I started dwelling into NFTs late last year, about September. Yeah, but then like I only put out my art. I only minted my art in March this year. So it took me like a few months. So what I did was, like, I wanted to actually produce art and sell, but then I realized that I don't understand the space. Like I know people are selling art, and I think I also joined SG NFT creators at that point of time when they were like, I think how many 50 people only. Now they are like 800 people, like in the Telegram chat.
I think it's more than that right now.
Yeah,
Some
it's growing.
scammer. Some of them are scammers.
Like bots.
Yeah, they're not people.
Oh my god. Okay.
I mean, Anthony is his job to kick out all these people. You know?
Yeah.
Anthony's
Yeah.
very hardworking guy.
Yeah, so it was still very early in my days, and I told myself, like, I need to explore, I need to buy an NFT, I need to understand what it is to buy, to sell, to really know, like, what's this thing that everybody's so excited about. And yeah, when you mint it at a very low price, and then you're able to sell it at a high price, of course you will feel happy about it, right? And especially when, as an artist, when you see your artwork being appreciated in that manner, you feel like, hey, it's something great lah. So I think that's where I started to dwell into. I started first one-on-one art. I think there's different type of art that you can actually make, or creative outputs that you can put as an NFT. So I started with a one-on-one art, and then, like, the moment I put it on foundation, someone bought it, so it made me excited. Then after that, when I put the second one, took me like until now still haven't sold. Then I'm like, you know. But I think, like, for me, it made me learn that the space it's a very interesting space, because it's not like something that you can just like use gimmicks to sell. You have to be omnipresent. That's why I always use the word omnipresent. Like, not only present when you are there, like even if you're away from the keyboard, AFK, like you have to be present still, somewhat. You know, like something is there to be like keeping you in that space. And I think primarily the two platforms that you use is Twitter and Discord. So, like, if you guys want to start, these are the two platforms that you need to start building your presence. And truth be told, by April, people were pushing me and asking me to work on NFT projects. And I'm the guy who doesn't say no. So as of today, I think I'm working on 4. Yeah.
Everything also can.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Everything,
can.
just take.
And I think for me, like, it presents me not only an opportunity for myself, but also like to help my friends who are my crew from my art collective to also be part of, because they also don't understand NFT space, but they understand art. Then I say, hey guys, you just do the art. Then when you see it coming into NFT space, then you try and experience at your own free time, and then you will understand. And I think the reason why I introduced myself by saying that I got scammed, like, I think the most important thing is like, it's not like an easy process. Like, people say, like, oh no, you just go in, sell, can one. No, it's not easy. You gotta dive in. You gotta do a bit of grinding. You gotta, like, understand and try to market yourself and push yourself out there. Yeah, and I think like being a freelancer, same thing. It's just that the methodology is very different. I think that you can be more honest, you can be vulnerable at the same time, but also, like, I think make a lot of friends lah. Yeah, and I think that's where you gain more network, and hopefully more opportunities will arise lah, and then you'll be established in the Web3 space. Yeah.
So on that note, right, let's also address that elephant in the room. I think a lot of us here have been hearing about, news about NFT and 3.0, crypto, all these, everything in this blockchain world. But there has also been most of this news has actually been very bad news about all the dodgy things that's happening. And I think that is, apart from it being very, all this jargon being thrown around, that is, at least from the people I've spoken to, that is actually the very big hurdle for them to overcome in order to even want to explore what is going on. So what do you guys think about that? All these basically bad talk that's going up about 3.0, about crypto, about NFTs. What do you guys think?
Just to add on what Ibao say, and also you were saying jargon, right? So while we always use the word like do your DD, what it means, do your own due diligence, or like do your own research, DYOR, right? So I think in the space, you need to research before you actually just FOMO, the word FOMO, which is fear of missing out. Just follow what people do, So you got to do your own research, and don't be a degen, which is like a degenerate. Yeah, don't just do it because everyone's doing it, Then after that, do your research. Ultimately, do your research. When you do your research, and then I would say, like, do what you like. Or if you want to buy NFT, buy what you like. Because if anything happen, at least you got what you like, right? So that's what it is.
I know the term do your own research is always being thrown about, but no one really tells you how to do your own research. And that is actually very intimidating for a lot of people, because the first thing you open up like NFT, crypto, then you see a whole bunch of like numbers, figures, and then you think like, what the hell is going on, bro? Like, am I getting scammed now? No lah, but the truth is the easiest way to do it is to actually get into the process of creating one and minting one. You don't have to do it on like the more expensive blockchain, say Ethereum, but you can also try out like Tezos. One Tezos is like $2. Yeah, so just go in, try out, make something as a creative, put out whatever you have, just maybe something simple, and then put it out there. I did conduct workshops for other creatives as well, so I did show them like a simple process of how to mint an artwork. I know minting is technical term, but it's essentially uploading. It's as simple as clicking a few buttons, putting your work.
Another way is to join a
Yeah,
edgy
yeah.
NFT
Yeah,
creator.
yeah.
People, there's okay, find communities. When
Yeah.
communities, out of like 1,000 people, there's pretty sure there's a few people who are willing to teach you for free. And these people will guide you the process, or they are there to help you. Like I'm pretty sure Anthony will help you for sure.
The community very helpful.
Not just him lah. There's a lot of people inside the grill.
I think that's something that in the traditional artwork isn't so apparent. Like, let's say you don't know something, you just ask, then probably one of us will answer lah.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I agree. I think the beauty of NFT space, which is very different from your conventional art space, is the community is very friendly. Like you will get to see, like, I think if you go into Twitter spaces, you will see people sharing the story, and everybody's very positive. Like they will get into some arguments, but at the end of the day, everybody's in that positive light. Yeah, there will be FUD. So FUD is short for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So these are like the jargons. We are throwing out jargons, so you all will learn along the way, lah. DYOR and all that. Yeah, but ultimately, like everybody is friendly over there, and it's not hard to find someone that you can sync up with and then you be friends with. So I think just to share a little bit, like when I started NFT Tarik, it's because I have a friend who wanted to learn NFTs, and I was also trying to learn NFTs. Then he asked me like, bro, you know about NFT not? Then I said, yeah, NFT non-fungible token now. Okay, then teach me. I'm like, oh, like that can. But then like in the end, like I wouldn't say he used me as someone who do the research and inform, but then like ultimately after that, like he also started to like put on his own input. And I think having someone going into the space together is actually helpful. Yeah, it's just that just be mindful that you don't rub off your intentions and thoughts to the other person. Because at the end of the day, say like, oh, because you buy, I buy, then now we are at a loss, then it's your fault. You will run into that kind of problems. But ultimately, I think you will hardly do that because everybody is in there for fun. Like when people do NFT projects, like it's not just to only earn, but also to like have fun with it. And you can see the spaces, like especially when you go into the Discord channels of projects, like they will have like games like Gartic and all that. Like they have game night. Like it's not like your conventional. Like I feel like, okay, so NFT projects are projects like you actually invested because by you buying the NFT and then they can actually run the utilities, and then like this is so called like their party night lah of sorts lah. But I think it's much more fun lah because you are actually like having fun and trying to engage the space, and yeah, that's how you enjoy lah. Yeah.
How about Anthony? Yeah. Because we are talking a lot about community, right? And you run, I think, one of the most popular NFT communities in Singapore also. So, what are the types of people you see coming in? What are the types of progress that you see moving within this space as well?
Actually, let's touch on the fraud first, or how to say the bad light that has been put on crypto and NFTs. I think a lot of bad things have happened recently, and until we get regulatory clarity on how things should operate here, it will continue to be so. MAS, they put out a statement last week regarding their views on DeFi and stablecoins and crypto in general. And next month, they're doing a seminar to get industry partners to, I guess, take a look at their measures and weigh in on how they should regulate the space. And within this year, we should get some clarity on how things operate in this area. But until then, my boss at Blue Jay always likes to say, when you enter the DeFi or crypto space, think of it as like backpacking in a rural country versus, let's say, when you're in traditional finance where there is help and support. When you lose your money, you can just call DBS. In crypto, is a lot of getting help from one another through the community, and yeah, just be careful of what of the transactions you sign, because you have custody of your own funds in crypto. So you are responsible for any action you take with regards to how you spend your funds, where you sign your wallet to different websites. Yeah, and yeah, like their point was, there's a helping community that's always there to support you along the way, regardless of your level of knowledge. So an example of that is actually a lot of NFT creators do not know how the intellectual property works when they put up their NFTs. When they sell their artwork, does that mean they lose the IP to their works? And what's nice is that even within our community, there's a lawyer who's willingly spending his time on pro bono basis to share with individual creators or projects on how they can make sure that they retain their intellectual property rights, or if they do want to give it away, there are ways to go about doing that as well.
Yeah, so I think that's one thing that we also do want to talk about, which is the intellectual property rights, right? I think that's a very big topic about why, or very big reason why creatives are going into the space, as Dom has rightfully mentioned, right? But I think at the same time, a lot of creators or a lot of industry players still do not see the point. Before and after you guys started this whole Web 3.0 and NFTs, have you guys seen a difference in how IP is being played out for you, or being handled for whatever you guys are doing?
I mean, for me, it's not so much of what I'm doing. I mean, I just make art and sell art. But I've seen it in my friends. So the main crux of it is that your IP, right, you can honestly do whatever you want with it. You want to make it CC0, which I highly don't recommend.
CC0, that means it's free to use.
Yeah, it's just free lah. Then sell for what? Okay, but to be honest, it's really in your own hands. So I have a friend. She does like character designs up for sale, and they are not cheap. So they cost around, say, about like $6,000-7,000. But you think like, oh, why am I paying like $6,000-7,000 for an anime girl? But the thing is, what you are buying is not just that design. You're also buying the rights to it. So she enclosed a document that comes with the design saying that you have full usage rights to it. That means it's yours. You want to make a TV series with this character? Sure. You want to rig it for your online personality? Sure. Because it's yours now that you own it. And whoever owns that token has the rights to use it. So that's one way you can use it. Whereas for artwork itself, I mean, if you're buying and selling artwork, or if you're creating artwork to be sold, I think look at it from the same lens as if I were to buy an actual artwork. If I were to buy the Mona Lisa, I mean, I wish, but do you own the Mona Lisa? Yes, but do you own the IP to the Mona Lisa? Yeah, so if you're thinking of it as like, I'm creating a 3D art and that's for sale, so what does it come with? And it can even be as simple as that, or it can be as complex as, yeah, this comes with a 3D model and you can use that 3D model in whatever you want to do. So I guess this whole space gives us creators way more control on how we want our work to be used and shown.
That's a very I think a deep perspective, but also something that I think is at the very least something that all creators should be considering. You know, if you're thinking about creating work and how you want to sell it and make money from it. But how about Jace? Because from what I understand, right, you are also building a whole different world behind just the NFT that you are creating, right? Can you just tell us a little bit more about it as well?
Okay, so for in real life, IP can be binded with just black and white contracts. So in Web3 is binded by smart contracts. So with that, it means that it's tied to, could be a wallet, could be an wallet owned by someone, and this someone owned by everyone can see who is it. You know. So for us, okay, so my art director for Munzi, also a co-founder, and my partner is there, Darwin. So he handles the community side. So he understands the most like how community works in terms of like on Discord. Every NFT project you are like running a whole new Kickstarter campaign, and then you have your own supporters, investors on board on this community, and how you're gonna hype them out, and then it's a whole new marketing game, and then how you hype them out to the minting process, and then imagine they mint, and then they'll think like, oh, what are you gonna do with the NFT? So for us, we run our project called Munzi. So Munzi is a play and earn game, which is on the decentral blockchain lah. So how it works is that like when you guys play any other game, it's like you probably pay to play, or probably have to there's free to play game. But for us, is you can actually earn money from playing our game. So how does it work is that our NFT is not JPEG. So an NFT is like a 3D model moving one. So when you own that 3D model in the space and blockchain, you actually own the character in the game itself. So of course, when you own the NFT, which is the game character, and then when you play the game, you earn tokens, earn these all the like from tokens lah, from all the battle or whatever things that you play. Then you can in exchange for like you can swap it to our Ethereum coin, whichever later. And how does the ecosystem work is that there are also players that will spend money on the in-game purchase, in-game cosmetic, etc. So when they spend the money, then they will have liquidity. Liquidity is like a pool money that is shared among everyone in the game. So with that, there's a whole ecosystem of how they can earn money from just playing. And it's quite cool, right? Because how we got inspired to do this Munzi is that during COVID, like everyone, you get stuck at home. But in some country, an example like Philippines, there are people who make a living just by playing games. So how does it work is that they keep this game, famous one, those people who know is Axie Infinity. They can just keep playing the game and then they make a living just by playing game. Yeah. So how they earn money is from the liquidity pool, which is of course paid by the people who spend money in the game. Yeah. So that's the whole idea of how Web3 is actually very powerful. Yeah, and only possible in the Web3 space. Then I think in terms of IP, like when you own our Munzi character, you actually it's only one of a kind in the world, and you can duplicate, but there's only one in the kind for the smart contract, so you can't duplicate it. Yeah, that's how it works.
How about Iqbal? As I mentioned, you are from the physical kind of art as well as digital art, right? Does it really make a difference to you, these IP and how NFT works? Being able to trace who actually owns the artwork. Does it matter?
Okay, it does matter, but in a sense, it's because so the good thing about doing NFT is that there's a smart contract, and you are the creator. You mint it, and then you sell it to someone. Someone owns it. So here's the good thing, lah. Like if that person sells, you get royalties. So this is something that in a physical space, like your IP, you have to write a contract like full on, properly. And sometimes it's always an issue with us, especially when we work with like larger agencies, and the agencies say like, hey, you've done this for this campaign, like I want to use this for other campaigns, and that's where all the image rights all comes in, right? Yeah, so and then you have to like write another contract, do the costings and all that. Yeah, but then here with the smart contract, you can set the amount of royalties that you receive. So if let's say owner A sells it to owner B, then you already set at the 10% royalties. You will get 10% royalties for that sale. Owner B sells to owner C, whatever price it is, 10% of that will still go to you. And the creator benefits it. If you are the artist, you are the creator, you benefit the most because you are the one that created the artwork. Yeah, so that's the beauty of it, and that's the thing about IP, and you can actually like explain to them, and you can actually set in a smart contract like how that particular image is going to be used. But I think from a baseline is that they own the artwork means they can like print it out, you can use whatever it is, and then when they're done with it, they can sell. But then they're like selling like what they own, and then the creator will still earn from that in form of royalties.
So basically, previously, right, if you guys are not familiar, if you have a dispute about your intellectual property, right, like there's this piece of art, I sold it to you, Iqbal, and then Iqbal, after that, you go and sell it to someone else, you use it in another artwork, you can claim all the credit. And then me as a creator come in, I say, hey, I didn't give you the right to go and resell it, right? But then there will be a lot of arguments, and everything is based on black and white, and it's sometimes just a verbal agreement. How do you trace? But having it on the blockchain will then simplify this process.
The smart contract.
The smart contract will actually help to simplify all of this because it's burned into the actual artwork itself. So you don't need to go and chase every single person.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be just one artist. Let's say, for example, I collaborate with someone else. The smart contract, you can actually split. You can even put the split percentages in. And the moment that transaction is being made, like everything will automatically go into your wallet. And yeah, you don't need to have like, in real life, people use calculator. Okay, how much, percent? Okay, you're done. No, this one you have already set, and then like computer will set it for you. The codes will do it for you.
Calculating is one thing. If one person receives the money, but then you don't actually split it up in the end, that's another thing also. No matter how much you want to argue that you own the money, if the person doesn't want to give it to you, you also have an issue. If you want to hear the second part of this session or catch up on our How to NFT series, do remember to click follow on our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Creatives at Work is releasing our own NFT in September as well, so do keep a lookout and join us in our NFT journey.